Okay, this video is the demonstration for step 1 of the 3D painting. Now, we have already looked at some of the artwork by the artist Paul Klee, and we've talked about organic and geometric shapes from our last project. This project, we're going to be focusing on geometric shapes. We've already said that geometric shapes are what we usually think of as math shapes, like squares, triangles, rectangles, and things with even edges and more man-made shapes. So for this project, we will be using some geometric shapes, and then we're going to be using both warm and cool colors to create depth in our painting. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing that you're going to need is a large sheet of paper and an 18-inch ruler, one of the longer rulers, and you're going to need to create a border along the edge of your paper. So you lay the edge of the ruler along the edge of the paper, make sure it's nice and straight, hold it down, and carefully draw your line. Now you will obviously be using a pencil to do this. I need to use a marker or a pen so that you can see the lines more easily. But basically you're going to be doing the same thing. So we're going to create this border all the way around our paper, making sure each time that the edge of the ruler is along the edge of the paper. This creates the border, and then you'll work inside of that border. Okay, so this is the area that we're going to be working in. Now once you have this area ready, then you're going to add some simple geometric shapes. You can use circles, and you may use a template to do that. You can create your other shapes just by using the ruler. So you want to use different size shapes, not all small, not all large, different size shapes, and then also you want to divide up your space. Okay, so you can use some different objects or different tools. So I'm going to use some circles using this template. I don't want to work too small because I'm going to be using some tempera paint to fill this in, and I want to use some larger brushes to do that. You can have some of the shape going off the edge into the border so it looks like it's an incomplete shape. That's fine. Once you add several shapes of different sizes, this is going to be an abstract painting so that you don't really recognize specific objects. You only really see shapes and colors. So the nice thing about this is you don't have to make it look like anything in particular, but you do need to keep in mind some composition ideas like using different sizes, making lines go in different directions. But you can do that by just crisscrossing lines, crisscrossing shapes. I can even use this and make a triangle here in the center of that. Then maybe I'm going to add those circles again. You can also find something that has a larger diameter circle, like a lid to a jar or a bucket, and you can also use that to trace. So maybe I'm going to add this shape here. You can also use different kinds of lines. You want to create some sort of pattern, so maybe I'm going to do this, and a pattern is when you use the same shape or line and you repeat it, and that creates a pattern. So once you have your space divided, this space is kind of large here. Let's go ahead, divide that up a little bit more. Also, you probably want to repeat ideas. This is a jagged line here that I've repeated there. Maybe I want this one to look something like a sun. So I could go like that. And then I could also do the same thing to this circle if I wanted to, and that also fills in that space a little bit more. I might even go ahead and continue this onto this rectangle like that. Okay, once you have this done, Again, you've drawn yours with a pencil. Once you have this finished, then your next step is to take a black crayon and you want to very carefully outline those lines. And that black crayon is going to make the paint really come to life and create that 3D effect. So then crayon is also an important step. So create a border, divide up your space using geometric shapes, and then once you've done that, you're going to outline it with a black crayon. That is step 1.